What's up, sports world? Welcome to my new show entitled Let's Talk About It. I am your host, PL Coulter. If you remember me from last season's fantasy football show, then you know that we won a lot of games together and we had a great time doing it. We'll still have the fantasy football show that will be premiering later on in August. But for now, we'll deal with the new show, Let's Talk About It. Now, this particular format will focus on all things sports with a heavy emphasis on football. You can hit me up, you can Twitter me, you can inbox me your questions, and we'll talk about it. If there's something you want to get off your chest, by all means, holler at your boy. I got you hooked up. Now, our series premiere will deal with a team that's near and dear to my heart, my beloved hometown Tennessee Titans. As latest reported, it looks like that the collective bargaining agreement will be agreed upon on Monday, and the NFL's 2011 calendar year will start this coming Wednesday. That's great news for football fans, teams, players, everyone alike, and I'm looking forward to the new year getting started. Now, there's a gazillion questions surrounding the Tennessee Titans this year. There's no Vince Young. Looks like at this point there's no Kerry Collins as he elected to retire. And the only saving grace is a first-round draft pick rookie, Jake Locker, that has not taken an NFL snap. So you would think that the Titans' most pressing issue would be a veteran quarterback this offseason, right? Wrong. Holla at your boy. The Titans' most pressing issue is a less than 6 foot tall, dreadhead, dynamite, explosive running back by the name of Chris Johnson. You have to get the Chris Johnson situation taken care of if this team is going to be anywhere near competitive. If you ask me if Chris Johnson should hold out and hold the Titans hostage this year, my answer is a resounding yes. There's 3 real good reasons why Chris Johnson should not report to camp and force the Titans' hand to pay him his money. Number one, the NFL lockout, one of the things that they really addressed was raising the salary cap floor so owners would have to spend more money. At last report, that the owners will have to spend at least 90% of the salary cap that's allotted to them, which this year should be roughly around $120 million. How that favors Chris Johnson? Well, let's take a look at it. Recently, the Titans have not been exactly Nostradamus when it comes to evaluating first-round talent. We just discussed that Vince Young is on his way out. Do you remember the name Pac-Man Jones? Do you recall the name Kenny Britt? Yeah, he shows flashes, but he looks to be more on the way out of the league than to a blockbuster deal or an extension. So if you weigh that into account, there's more money to spend, and it's not like the Titans is saving away money for a rainy day or for a rainy blockbuster extension that's coming down the pipe. They actually have none. So if you're Chris Johnson, demand that money. You're only making $800,000 this year. And speaking of the money, the second reason that he should definitely hold out is because he's not making enough money. Since he was drafted into the NFL, he does lead the league in rushes. He's one of in the top 3 in rushing attempts, and he's an all-around explosive weapon waiting to happen. Now, if you take the top 3 running backs in the league and look at their base salaries, $800,000 is simply not going to cut it. With all of the carries that Chris Johnson has had since he's come into the league, he's very, very fortunate not to have had any serious injuries that kept him out for a serious or a long period of time. Now, you have to look no further than Javon Walker and his exploits when he wanted to hold out, came back against his wishes, got injured, and now he's on the latest segment of Where Are They Now? But I digress. So if you're Chris Johnson, don't be the next Javon Walker. Why on earth would you do that? You take your healthy legs into camp and demand your money. Now, last but certainly not least, the reason why you should certainly hold out this offseason, CJ, the Titans need you. They have no other options. We just discussed they have 0 quarterback experience other than the 1.5 dreadful games that the third-string quarterback Rusty Smith gave them last year. There's going to be no Randy Moss. Kenny Britt will more than likely be suspended for the beginning of the season due to his offseason antics. And the only thing that's really consistent is the offensive line and the running game. New head coach, new offensive coordinator, new defensive coordinator. There's nothing that they have that they can hang their hat on other than you, CJ. So instead of letting them use and abuse you for another 2 years until you, quote unquote, earn your contract extension, hold them hostage. As a diehard Titans fan, I know that we're doomed without CJ in the lineup week one, regardless if you bring in a Donovan McNabb, or if you bring in a Matt Hasselbeck from Seattle, whoever you bring in from a veteran standpoint, or if you lure Kerry Collins to come out of retirement and play for the Titans. None of that will matter if you have no running game. And with all due respect to Javon Ringer, you're no CJ. The Titans made a big mistake in letting Legarius Blunt go, and we all see what he's doing with Tampa Bay now. So you can just imagine what the Titans offense would look like with Jake Locker, Javon Ringer. Okay, you're right. As a diehard Titans fan, I have no one else to put into that fold. There'll be no Randy Moss again, as we stated. There'll more than likely be no Kenny Britt due to his off-field antics. So you have all the pieces in place to get your money, CJ. So if you're Chris Johnson, you most definitely will hold out. Yes, that was a stopgap that you did last year, and they paid you close to $2 million, but you don't have that this year. They moved all of that money up to pay you last year. So it's either play it out for $800,000 and risk being the 2011 version of Javon Walker, or you can hold them hostage and get that money you so rightfully deserve. I'm sorry to do that to you, Bud Adams. I love you like a grandfather, but you got to pay that man. He's earned it, he's deserved it, and it's the right thing to do. If not, you will hear this. With the first pick of the 2012 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans will be selecting ... I hope you enjoyed the first episode of Let's Talk About It. Please inbox me your questions. Hit me up on Twitter at PLCulture. Again, that's at PLCOLTER. Holla at your boy. In closing, we always like to say that life is a sport, so make sure you always play to win. It's your boy PL. I'm out. God bless.